Let's be honest, meal prep has a bit of a reputation. It's efficient, yeah, but a lot of the times it's boring. Dry chicken, bland rice, and 5 of the exact same containers in the fridge all week? No thanks. Today I'm gonna show you how to prep 3 meals that taste totally different using 3 different proteins: chicken, beef, and fish, and still come from one smart grocery haul. This is flavorful food that actually holds up and might be the reason that you look forward to leftovers. Before we get started, let's get everything prepped. We want everything ready to go and in its place, or mise en place. This helps make sure all your ingredients are prepped and on hand, so you're not running around the kitchen with your head chopped off while cooking. Starting with ingredients we'll be using across all recipes, we'll get the bell peppers prepped first. Lay them flat and slice off the sides around the core. Cut those into even strips. We're going to be using about 6 total, using multiple colors if you can. Half is going to go into the roasted veggies for one dish, and the other half is going to be set aside for the beef dish. And pro tip, keep a scrapple on hand to catch all your food scraps while prepping. It keeps your workspace clean and makes cleanup faster. Speaking of cleanup, we're going to be placing each ingredient in one container now to minimize mess and split them up when it's time to cook. For the onions, we're going to trim off both ends, peel them, and then slice pole to pole. This will give you cleaner slices that hold up their shape whether they're roasting, going into the beef dish, or using in our salad. You'll need 2 total that will split up across all 3 recipes. I like to have a variety of veggies for my meals, so I'll be chopping up some zucchini cutting once lengthwise, then chopping into half-moon shapes about 1/2 inch in thickness. Careful not to slice these too thin, otherwise they're going to turn into mush when they cook. Next up, cherry tomatoes. We're going to start off by slicing about 1 cup of cherry tomatoes in half and setting them aside. This is going to be for our beef dish where they're going to break down and turn into a beautiful sauce. For the other cup, we're just going to set them aside whole and use them for our beautiful herb salad. Next, let's prep our proteins. First, you're going to want to start off with some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You'll want 3 pounds of boneless, skinless thighs. I like thighs for this recipe because they can handle being overcooked without drying out. But if you're a bonehead like me and forget to read the package details, you might be working with bone-in, skin-on thighs. If that's the case, it's an easy fix. To remove the skin and bone, lay the thighs skin side down. Pull the skin back and trim any excess. Use the tip of your knife to trace around the bone, keeping the blade close so you don't lose any meat. Once the bone's out, check for any small bits of cartilage or bone and trim them away. Okay, now that we finally have our boneless, skinless thighs, add them to a bowl with 4 tablespoons of olive oil, the juice of 2 lemons, optionally you can add a little bit of zest, about 4 to 6 cloves of minced garlic. You can mince it by hand, but to save time, I'm going to throw mine through my garlic press, 2 teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper, or to save time, grab a good SPG seasoning that covers it all. Toss that to coat and let it sit while we finish the rest of the prep.
This marinade recipe is super versatile. You can use it on chicken wraps, salads. I also like to use this marinade with chicken breasts and grill it up, and the kids love it as chicken nuggets.
Next, let's prep the beef for the lomo saltado. We use 2 pounds of flat meat. If you can't find that at your local butcher, you can try flank or skirt steak. Lay it flat and look for the grain. That's the natural direction the muscle fibers are running. You want to slice against the grain, meaning you're cutting perpendicular to those lines. This breaks down the fibers and keeps the beef tender and easy to chew. Cut about 1/2 inch strips and then place in a container. And then we're going to marinate it with 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, 2 to 4 cloves of garlic, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and a tablespoon of olive oil. Give it a quick toss and then we'll set it aside. We'll be prepping 2 starches, couscous and rice. Both will be prepped ahead of time or cooked during the downtime in each recipe. For the couscous, bring 2 cups of water to a boil with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, salt, pepper, a little chicken bouillon, and zest of a lemon. Once it's boiling, turn off the heat and add the couscous. Cover and set aside, and it'll be ready in about 5 minutes. For the rice, you can use a rice cooker, but I found that a pressure cooker gets the job done faster. Add 3 cups of jasmine rice to 3 cups of water, pressure cook for 4 minutes, then let it naturally release. This should be done about in the same time it takes the chicken to marinate. And for extra flavor, I like to melt a little butter and garlic in a pan, simmer it for a few minutes, then stir that into the rice with a pinch of salt. With everything sliced, seasoned, and ready to go, the cooking is gonna fly by, so let's get started. The first recipe we're making is a roasted chicken thigh bowl with vegetables and garlic rice. Everything's gonna go into one sheet pan, making it easy to clean up. First, add sliced zucchini, bell peppers, and onions that we prepped onto a sheet pan. Drizzle with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and season with 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, a pinch of salt, and some black pepper. Give it a nice toss to make sure everything's coated, and then we're gonna lay out the marinated chicken thighs that we prepped earlier, place them on the sheet pan so it's got contact to the metal so we can get some nice roasting. We're gonna roast it all in the sheet pan at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. We're gonna flip everything about halfway through to get even caramelization and cook until the chicken is golden and cooked through, reaching an internal temperature of about 165 degrees Fahrenheit. To store this, I like to keep things simple. I store the chicken and roasted veggies in one container and rice in another container. It saves space in the fridge and keeps everything fresh. But I also pack a few portions for myself in milk containers since I take them to work while my wife and kids eat at home during the day. To plate it, scoop some garlic rice, add the roasted veggies, then slice the chicken and lay it on top.
This is juicy, it's flavorful, and because we're using thighs, this will stay moist up until day 4. And I love this recipe because it's fresh enough for lunch, but also hearty enough for easy dinner.
Next, we're making lomo saltados. It's a Peruvian style stir-fried beef with onions, peppers, and tomatoes and tossed on top of fries. For this recipe, I recommend using a wok. You don't need one, but a wok is going to give you more surface area for a better sear on the beef and enough room to toss everything without overcrowding. If you have a pan, just get a big one and make sure it's really hot. Heat your wok over high heat until it's ripping hot. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil and drop in the marinated steak. Spread it out into a single layer and let it sear undisturbed for 1 to 2 minutes to get a nice crust. And if you overcrowd and can't get a nice sear, don't worry because this recipe has so much flavor that you're not going to miss it. Now add the sliced red onions, bell peppers, and 1 cup of the half cherry tomatoes that we set aside earlier. Add in about a cup of defrosted fries and then toss everything together for about 3 to 5 minutes so the fries pick up the sauce and get cooked. Finish with a splash of soy sauce and vinegar to deglaze the pan and bring all those flavors together. Give it one last toss and it's ready to go. It's rich, savory, and a little tangy with the vinegar. The beef is tender and the veggies are sweet. And the fries soak up all that flavor and get better each day.
This is the kind of meal you'd order out, but it's right in your fridge. If you want, cook your fries on the side, and then when you're ready to eat, serve the steak and veggies on top. But I really like the flavor of the potatoes when they soak up all that juice. Or if you want to skip the carbs entirely, swap this out for a veggie like broccoli. I have a recipe variation of this that does that, and I'll leave that info in the description if you're interested.
I love this recipe because it hits that craveable takeout level flavor and it's got simple whole ingredients that you probably already have. And finally, we're gonna make a quick tomato poached whitefish with fluffy couscous and fresh herb salad. Start with the skillet over medium heat and add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 cloves of minced garlic. Stir until fragrant, then add in 2 cans of diced tomatoes and season with salt, pepper, garlic, and add a pinch of red chili flakes and let simmer for 5 minutes. Then we're gonna nestle in 1.5 pounds of cod or tilapia fillets. Spoon the sauce over the top, cover, and poach gently for about 8 to 10 minutes until the fish flakes easily. While the fish is cooking, let's make a quick herb salad. Roughly chop up some parsley and cilantro and toss it with olive oil and lemon juice, some red onions and whole cherry tomatoes. Make sure everything's evenly coated and we'll just set it aside. To plate, the couscous goes on the bottom, fish and sauce goes on top, and add a scoop of that herb salad to finish.
This recipe holds up incredibly well for a fish dish. I actually even like it just cold with the herbs right on top.
All 3 meals hold up in the fridge for 4 to 5 days. The chicken and beef can be reheated in a pan or microwave. And unless you want enemies, do not microwave that fish dish. You can either warm it gently in the oven or in a pan, or just eat cold. And for the rice and couscous, add a splash of water and microwave covered to keep them fluffy. So that's 1 grocery haul, 3 meals, and 0 boredom. If you want a freezer-friendly version or a batch of high-protein breakfast ideas, drop a comment. And if this helped you out, hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep cooking together.